Hi all, welcome to my Game Week 70 squads. We have 73 squads in all. We have 4 in the Bundesliga Collector Event. We have 113 for Augsburg, 195 squads for Freiburg, 113 for Bochum and 219 for Werder Bremen. I'm maybe wishing I'd got Dukes over Burke, but to be honest, Marvin's not playing too great just now and Burke seems to be up for it a bit more, shall we say, but wait and see. As I said, this all comes into play tomorrow and Sunday, so shall be good fun in that respect. Ultra attacking, we ran out of keepers, so Bart had to go in there just the way it falls. Cadden and Mika just kind of players at a lower risk in here, to be honest. Limited point of view, both got chances. If everyone plays, destroys us so many attackers to work with. Then for Premier League, we've got Flecken, Janelt, all the usual lads in, so pretty happy with that. Like Brentford were being bold with. I do think need to still bring in like Damsgaard and then Buemo if I aim to do the Brentford Collector Event in like a couple of weeks time. That is definitely a shout. I'll probably do Bournemouth as well, I think. I'll look at like Palace and like Fulham and Wolves and whatnot. I'll look at what I have for other teams, because Palace we can go like Munoz, Sarr, Mitchell, Will Hughes, so got a chance there. Obviously with warm up we've gone with Nick Pope, McAllister, Big Dean, Isaac and Ben White has been brought in first time for a while. It seems like he's going to start getting a run of games now that he seems to be getting practically fully fit, and Arsenal kind of need him to be playing league and Europe as much as they can. Then La Liga, we didn't tie down any remaining keepers because Richarlison comes back. He's thinking next week because they were interviewing him. There was an outside shout that he could have come back this weekend, but for what he was saying, it's more likely for next weekend. And I was like, okay, pity. So see what happens in that respect. But 4-mans across the board. Being bold captaining Yangel, and I could have probably captained Rubio, but hey ho. But yeah, so quite a few 4-man squads across the board. And the thing is, they've still got potential, so I'm not going to complain. La Liga looks relatively solid. Gone Barca mostly with Yamal, Koundé, Pedri, thrown in Oblak and Sabali as the limited there, but good to see like the throw us back in the fold. We've still fielded 3 Bundesliga teams from a limited perspective, solely just to get players used that basically weren't getting used for any of the other like objective stuff. So thrown in like Jung, Jae-Sung Lee, Weigl and Eckstein. This is like Jae-Sung Lee, Itakura, Eric Smith, Jackson Irvin, these kind of guys I would have loved to have put in for like St. Pauli, Mainz, Mönchengladbach, but late fall sadly. Jung's like on the bench, most likely that's how he's there. But like St. Pauli was always going to be tricky, because even with like Eckstein, Smith, Irvin, but where it falls. MLS, we've managed to sort out 2 5-man squads now. I'm kind of wishing I'd maybe went the full 5-man for one of the teams, just like in season, just to try and go for a streak, but Yohei, Maxo, Shambost, Wolf and Pete, like the rare squad's still got a chance. I swapped Stroud for Polster, captaining Josef, which is maybe bold. We will have to have a look at the rare squad in general. Maybe we should put a cost in over poster, but Kellen was just to put in the second squad because see where he's at in terms of everything. Cornell, Laturi, Marie, Tubbs, and Eva Boys in there. It's just to get Cornell used really, and Laturi. I will be looking over the weekend, most likely, to finally fill in this squad, but also improve this a little bit as well, because Polster and Alvarez kind of feel I can do better. Classic squads are always still relatively strong. The only real change that we've had to do is Alex Roldan is swapped him out, and Soloy's been brought in for Christian Ramirez. I'll probably bring in another limited forward and should be fine there. Champions, Schwallow is like 30% chance of playing. I think some predictions have him at like 40. It's because Ronau's got like an injury. He was still playing while injured, and I'm like, you're injured, why are you playing? So there is a case for Schwallow playing. If he plays as a 5-man, that has a chance in getting to something. So, and especially if it lets me see the breakdown. So 588 is 4 essence, and we've shown that we can get essence as a 4-man already. Like, I doubt we'll get to 110, but and before miracle happens, but doubt it. Because what's interesting is I haven't put in, because I've not got Hanin, but I've got Fort, so it's at rare level, so it's what it is. But brought in Harrison for a rare forward. He was like 30p, so I wasn't caring on that respects. Then just reinforced all the other teams at Kuro just to give this team a chance. Like, I know in theory I could have been like, could have tried to make watching Gladbach happen, but no biggie. Been bold captaining Kolasinac, but the Serie A lads all across the board all having their uses. Berengu maybe might turn up on Sunday against Vallecano. This team, we are still sticking with the big 5 that we've been kind of sticking with just now of Petrovic, Kimmich, Mitsima, Mbappe and Sierro. Last minute rejig with the rare squads. We've brought in Serhouse at last. That was like £3, so I wasn't complaining there. I've been trying to get him for a wee while, and so finally bringing his in season in. Trent had him, and I was like, happy days. I need to do a bit of like gallery jiggery pokery shortly anyway. Tonight, quite a few players for RKC across the board and Burnley. So Challenger, could see early inroads. Ideal scenario for RKC, 0-0 would be lovely, or 1-0 RKC. In fact, RKC 1-0 win, Ukeli, decisive, Howen clean sheet, Verdonk 150 points, 160 points out of him. In fact, what would he get actually? He could get 168 points. Yeah, I'll take that. Is it? Was it 60 I seen there? Yeah, it's just the way they've done numbers, that's all it is. It's just, I think, a font change. Go ahead, be interested to see how they do with Lansana, Delge, etc. Just been bringing. The thing is, it's the players that we've been swapping are suspended players, so that's got like 2 fans in. Delge and all that kind of stuff. This team has real potential. If it wasn't Didion in net against Ajax, I probably should have made the swap, but it's no biggie. Limited, warm up to get a limited essence or card. This has potential. Like, at times you do wish it was better than a tier 4, but beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. Captaining Lauritsen's maybe bold. Maybe we should have done like Antman or De Kuiper, but we'll wait and see. Then we've got the Hibs lads across the board. We've got Flipovic in about 10 minutes, or it'll be just kicked off by the time this eventually goes live, folks. So Hibs on Sunday, late afternoon could potentially be like bouncing. Everyone I have at limited and rare level should all play in terms of starting, but also for those that might come off the bench, like possibly Nicky Cadden, Bowie. It's been interesting comparing my predictions to SI's predictions. Sorare are inside, but see what happens. Kono's now obviously moved to one of the classic squads, as in both of them. KGH here, just to balance it out. OXT have been brought in midfield because obviously my not 100% sure with him. Basically done the same. What I love is I've near enough done the same limited squad as the same as this rare squad. The only difference is 2 attackers, that's 2 defenders. Banter. So Iredale, basically same team, Smith, Levitt, Iredale and Murray, but Boyle is instead. I will eventually bring in maybe a rare Boyle. I'll wait and see. It's just folk are asking for too much, that's the problem. That's why I've never bothered to pull the trigger on them, and even those that do have them and it's been a bot account, they're not taking anything that I'm offering, so it's like I've not stressed. Try to put like a misses across the board and NATO. It'd be interesting to see how Shonan do this weekend, and if Ispa, but should be solid potential. I've had to swap in Lukian for Sankris, who is also suspended. Like, we've really made sure to hone in who is suspended and injured this week. Dawan now plays on Tuesday, so he's like the last kick-off for Beijing Guan, so that'll be bannered there. I think that's like the rescheduled game. Scuppered me this for game week 69 for a possible like Essence return, but I needed a miracle anyway. I needed 100, and it was not a given to have helped made any difference anyways. Like, for me personally, what I love about my contender squad is that they all have potential to deliver. Like, if I win Div 1, I get $250 and a star, and like legitimately this team has a chance. Like, that team has a chance, that team has a chance. Even looking against Alberex, like, Lukian knows where the net is. If he gets a decisive, you're cooking. If Cerezo can pop off under Lucas and Shunta, we're just laughing. And especially when you've got 2 Division 1 teams, like Division 2 team, like, would we knock a star? Nope, because that's what I wouldn't mind. And if we would eventually finally get one of these teams to seriously be not just the top 5, but like podium, would be epic. This team has serious potential. Lalo, Barco, Park Chan-Yong, Andres Martin, Dominic Fitz. See what happens there. Just didn't sort out a rare under 23 keeper, mainly because they're an arm and a leg still. I've just kind of resigned to that fact. Shinton, certain predictions have them from 0 to 50%, so I was like, okay, we will see how that plays out. The under 23 squads, Erthausen bulking that up nicely if he pops off. If Amissa keeps a clean sheet, then, and if Richinel and Akili can deliver, will be nice. In theory, maybe we should put in Lakesa in with this as like an RKC stack, but yeah, I think the challenge with these 3 squads is like Bulow, Caden Clark. How will they do? Under 23s, this team looks fun. Trafford, Santos, Cherky, Pedri and Goof. And then our best of Europe, as usual, depending on top 500, the first with being credits, we've gone Koa Santos, Christian Matsima, Ryan Cherky, Unai Lopez and Michael Elise. 73 scores in all. see how we deliver. As I said, at the moment we're sitting on 41 limited essence, 21 rare and 6 super rare. Hopefully can just get the craftings up. My feeling is now is just build up the limited and rare essence between now and the start of next season, solely so that when it comes to 25-26 season we can get ourselves some early big in season cards, really, if I'm honest. So it'll be interesting to see how much actual rare essence we can craft up to, and I'm still at plenty of time with limited, so we've got a real chance. I'm quite happy with that, so we'll wait and see what happens. And as you can see, just by jumping back in, we're now up to one box, because obviously one team is kicked off, which is no shock, being Flipovic. If we go to that game, so obviously it's not quite kicked in yet, but 35 points plus his cap, like his 15% on top, so big chance to hopefully, and it's a game where Siebenek could get a result as well, like, but they've just went into free fall, so I've got to be wary with Flipovic as well, so see what happens on that one. But let me know, folks, what scores you're running this game week and what chances you have. So have a good one, folks, take it easy all, thanks for listening, have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.